Willa, the world of the wealthy isn't as enticing as you thought. You have no idea how much I've struggled so that I could marry your dad. Look at where it's gotten me now. So, as a woman, you can truly only rely on yourself. Only when you stand firm can you avoid being taken lightly by others, Charmaine commented. Mom, I don't want to hear this. Willow was losing patience. Sophie is so happy now. How can I give up? I'm Tristan Lombard's sister-in-law. With such an identity, people will be eager to flatter me, so what do I have to fear? All right, I didn't mean it that way. I just want to remind you not to dig your own grave, Charmaine said. As a mother, she had said all she could, yet her influence over her daughter's decisions was inevitably limited. Meanwhile, after Sophie returned home, she found William tending to his beloved garden. She greeted him briefly before retiring to her room. Some issues had arisen at Wings of Light that required her attention. At that moment, Tristan was keeping his father company. Seeing Tristan seated there with him, William grumbled. What is wrong with you? Why are you here with an old man? I don't need you here. Go be with your wife. Tristan was rendered speechless. Having finally found some spare time, and since Sophie was busy at that time, he decided to keep William company so as to distract him from his solitary thoughts. Little did he expect his company to be so unwelcomed. All right. I was worried you would be lonely. But if you don't want me around, I'll go join my wife then, Tristan said. Who wants to be here with an old man? As a matter of fact, William didn't want Tristan keeping him company, either. He just wanted a grandson. Nothing else mattered. Back in their room, Sophie was still busy. Seeing him enter, she spared him a glance while her fingers flew over her keyboard. Weren't you downstairs with Dad? Why are you here? She reckoned that William needed company. That was the reason she had asked Tristan to stay with him. Tristan moved closer and wrapped his arms around her waist. He doesn't need my company, and he was the one who asked me to come be with you. Don't worry. He's quite content with being alone. A hint of a smile spread across Sophie's face. Dad is really a very good person. He may have been cold toward me at first, but now he takes good care of me. Looks like I need to work harder. Tristan said abruptly. Why? Dad wants a grandson. That's all he's ever anticipated. That's why he sent me back upstairs. Sophie gave him a stern look. Ever since they got married, Tristan had been playful, constantly teasing her at every opportunity. You go do your own thing. I still have some work to finish, Sophie said dismissively. Tristan nipped her on the neck. Honey, are you trying to brush me off? Hot and bothered as she was, Sophie knew that she still had a lot of work on her plate. She was somewhat frustrated. Why don't you go take a shower? I'll be done by the time you finish, she suggested in an attempt to pacify him. That should do it. Tristan pinched her cheek and said, That's more like it. I'm going to take a shower. When you're done with your work, come join me. It's so boring to shower alone. Showering together is much better. Okay, Sophie said. Indeed, married men are full of eccentric thoughts. After Tristan disappeared into the bathroom, Butterfly's voice rang out from the earpiece. Phantom, you seem to be having a good time. Did I interrupt something? Butterfly had remained silent the whole time, but she had overheard the whole conversation. Had you been slightly more competent, Butterfly, you wouldn't have ruined my honeymoon. Sophie said petulantly. All right, I was wrong. I ask for your forgiveness, and I'll treat you to a meal sometime. That should do it, right? Butterfly said guiltily. After all, she was the one who had created this mess. Fine, Sophie replied. As they spoke, Sophie had already solved Butterfly's problem. As always, once she set her mind on something, there was no problem that she couldn't solve. As expected of Phantom, solving the issue in less than 20 minutes, Butterfly exclaimed, relief washing over her. I'll leave you two lovebirds be. I'll treat you to a meal some other day. Your husband is still naked in the bathroom waiting for you. With the problem solved, Butterfly didn't wish to bother Sophie any longer and quickly logged off. Sophie shut down her laptop and was about to make a phone call when the bathroom door swung open. "Come on in, honey." Sophie was at a loss for words. Does he have to show off his naked body like this? Sure, we're married now, but won't he feel embarrassed? What's wrong? Didn't we agree on this? Were you just brushing me off? Tristan asked. It's not that. But are you sure about this? This is your home, and your dad and the others are here. What does that have to do with anything? Don't worry. Our house is well soundproofed. Tristan wore a look of anticipation. Furthermore, they were newlyweds. His family would absolutely not disturb them, so there was no reason to worry. Hurry up, Tristan urged. Sophie had just taken a step forward when he suddenly pulled her into the bathroom and quickly shut the door behind them. What are you doing? Wait a minute. It's not like he's never done it before. Why is he so impatient? I can't wait any longer. Her allure was simply too irresistible. After a passionate night, Sophie woke up the next day only to find it was already past 10. She had always been in the habit of going for a morning run. However, since getting married, she had been breaking her routine more and more. She was surprised that she found the feeling unexpectedly sweet. Picking up the note Tristan had left on the bedside table, Sophie grabbed her phone and dialed his number. He answered the call just after 2 rings. You're awake? You must be exhausted from last night. I asked the housekeeper to prepare breakfast for you. Make sure you eat it. As Sophie's husband, it was his responsibility to care for her. All right. I'll get out of bed now, she replied. Honey, what should I do? I miss you. Tristan had gotten better at sweet nothings ever since they got married. I miss you too. All right now, get to work. I'm going down for breakfast, Sophie said. It was already over 10 o'clock. Knowing William was also home, she felt embarrassed to head downstairs. Okay. Don't forget to eat more, all right? Tristan was reluctant to hang up the call. In fact, he didn't even feel like working at all with a lovely wife at home. All right. Now go and focus on your work. The couple chatted for a while longer until the secretary called Tristan, forcing him to end the call. After hanging up, Sophie flashed a contented smile on her face. She was truly living a happy life. She changed her clothes and headed downstairs. When the butler saw her coming down, he immediately served the breakfast on the table. Mrs. Lombard, your breakfast is ready. Thank you. There's no need to be so polite, Mrs. Lombard. It's our duty to serve you. If there's anything you find unsatisfactory, feel free to let me know, and I will work on it. Everything is great, Sophie replied. She wasn't accustomed to being served by others. She sat quietly and ate her breakfast. Seeing the way Sophie behaved, the butler couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. He used to ponder what kind of woman would be worthy of Tristan. Now that he saw her, he felt that only someone like her deserved to be with Tristan. They were truly compatible in every aspect. I hope Mrs. Lombard can bear children for the Lombard family as soon as possible. That way, their union would be truly complete. After breakfast, Sophie didn't have much else to do, so she went directly to the Chonea Medical Association. It had been a while since she last visited. Upon learning of her arrival, Arius and Georgina immediately brought her to the laboratory. They encountered some problems in their recent experiments, and Sophie's presence had given them hope. How could they not make good use of her expertise? Sophie, you have no idea how much we missed you during your absence. Sophie excelled in every field, especially in medicine, where she was considered a natural authority. She could solve any problems. Missed me? Aren't you afraid Georgina will get jealous? Sophie teased. Upon hearing her name, Georgina blushed and said, No, how could I possibly be jealous of you? I know how close both of you are. I was just teasing you. By the way, you two have been together for a while now. When will we get to attend your wedding? Arius did express his hope to get married during my wedding photo shoot. Georgina's face grew even redder. In truth, she felt that their current situation was already perfect. She was genuinely happy being with Arius. And even if they didn't get married, it didn't matter. That depends on when she wants to marry me. Georgina, when are you going to marry me? You didn't even propose to me, Georgina retorted. Although she didn't find anything wrong with girls taking the initiative, she was worried that it was her one-sided wish to get married. She turned and walked away. A look of confusion crossed Arius' face. Did I say anything wrong? Why are women so confusing? Weren't we just having a normal conversation? Arius, what a woman needs is a sense of security. Did you give it to her? Arius was puzzled. Did I not give it to her? I love Georgina so much. I want to be with her for the rest of my life. I thought she knew that. If you truly like her, then tell her. Women tend to overthink. Do you understand? Yeah, I understand. Don't worry. I'll treat her well. After finishing his work at Lombard Group in the evening, Tristan went to the medical association to pick Sophie up. It had been a long time since they met up with their friends, so they all had dinner together. Sophie and Tristan, the newlyweds, looked blissful, while Charles appeared melancholic. Everyone had a partner, and he was the only one alone. Am I destined to spend my life in loneliness? Seeing him like this, Isabel leaned against Felix intentionally, intending to provoke Charles even more. Charles was not a fool. He knew that she was deliberately trying to provoke him. But now he was all by himself, and even if he knew it, there was nothing he could do about it. Mr. Northley, please control your woman and ask her not to provoke me, Charles said helplessly. Did I get in anyone's way for being single? Felix placed his arm around Isabel's shoulder and said, She's my woman. She can do whatever she pleases as long as she doesn't mess with Sophie. Even though Sophie was now married to Tristan, they were still accustomed to calling her by her name. They didn't address her as Mrs. Lombard because their relationships were too complicated for such formalities. They chose not to care about the formalities and simply called each other by their names. Sophie glanced at Felix. Mess with me. She wondered why anyone wanted to mess with her. Isabel immediately waved her hands. No way. I wouldn't dare mess with you, and I can't bear to do so either. Sophie's current position in the Lombard family has surpassed mine. Why would I mess with her? Meanwhile, Arius and Georgina sat together. Georgina felt slightly unhappy as she wasn't familiar with the others. She remained quiet during the meal. When Arius noticed her dejected look, he started to panic. Are you still mad at me? Georgina, don't you know how I feel about you? Let's get married. He was not the romantic type, but he would do his best to treat her well. Georgina let out a sigh. Oh well, I was the one who fall for him. He has always been like this since I met him. Georgina held his hand and said, I know you're good to me, and I understand your intentions. There isn't a need to delve into petty matters. We're already very happy now, aren't we? Georgina, are you two getting married? Isabel, who was seated next to Georgina, had been eavesdropping on their conversation. Yeah, I've already decided to spend the rest of my life with him. I'll marry no one but him. Georgina used to think that the phrase, marry a gentleman, was just a cliché, but after getting to know Arius, she realized how true it could be. Me too. Felix and I are getting married. Why don't we do it together? Isabel suggested. Together. I need to ask Arius if he's okay with it. Georgina knew that Arius didn't have anyone else, but she had her own family to consider. Okay, take your time to consider. I think having a joint wedding would be fun. After speaking, Isabel leaned on Felix's shoulder. Marriage. What a beautiful word. Although she was only 21 years old, she was already thinking about spending a lifetime with this man. During the event, the men who had girlfriends took good care of their respective partners. Only Charles and Sean were still single. Sean seized the opportunity to sit next to Sophie. Sophie, do you know where Cecilia is now? Cecilia? I just returned from my honeymoon, so I haven't had time to contact her. She isn't filming anything right now though. I guess she's currently on vacation. Many things happened after she returned from her honeymoon. It had been a while since she had seen her best friend. Oh. What's wrong? Why are you looking for her? Did something happen between them? I'm not in a position to ask about it though. It's nothing. Sean felt a little annoyed. It wasn't a pleasant feeling at all. He had never felt like that before, but it seemed that Cecilia had been avoiding him after sleeping with him. I'll call and ask where she is once I return. Sophie knew about Cecilia's feelings for Sean, but Sean had always pined for his first crush. Moreover, the effect his first crush had on him was especially significant. Men like him are better left on their own. All right. After dinner, everyone went to Nocturnal to wind down, but Charles felt the place was boring once he got there, as everyone was in pair except for him. Ultimately, he sat beside Sean so that they could be each other's companions. Sean. Charles realized Sean wasn't in the mood to chat after sitting there for a while. Did something happen at your law firm, Sean? You seem to be so preoccupied lately. Sean ignored him, for his mind was filled with the crushing look on Cecilia's face. In the end, I still hurt that proud woman. What's wrong with you, Sean? Did you get into some trouble lately? You can tell us. You keeping quiet like this is honestly quite scary. Can you shut up? You're so noisy. Charles finally shut his mouth. I was just worried about him. Why is he giving me the cold shoulders again? Why is it so hard to be a human? Tristan and Sophie sat on a couch, abstaining from alcohol. After her wedding, she stopped consuming alcohol since they wanted to have a baby. Sophie, are you really planning on having a kid so soon? She's only 20 years old. Yeah. Sophie wasn't the least bit repulsed by the idea of having a child. She decided to go with the flow. How brave. Taking care of a child is a lot of work. Georgina had seen her colleagues care for their children before, and it looked exhausting. Uncle Tristan won't let Sophie tire herself out. I'm sure he'll fight to care for the child. There's Grandpa too. These people will fight to care for the child. Yeah, she's right. You're in charge of delivering the baby. Leave the caretaking to me. If I can deliver the baby, I will, since I don't want Sophie to suffer the pain of giving birth. Alas, I'm a man and can't bear a child. Sure. Sophie was more than glad to take him up on his offer. Isabel rested her head on Felix's shoulder. Felix, if I ever have a kid, you need to take care of the child too. I won't bear that responsibility since I still want to sing. Felix immediately nodded. That's for sure. You just focus on giving birth. But, say, are you finally agreeing to marry me? My proposal has been a string of failures. Well, that depends on how you treat me. Don't be greedy, Isabel. You won't find another man who loves you as much as Felix if you ever leave him. It's literally impossible to find someone like him, okay? The few of them gathered at a booth when they noticed not only Sophie and Tristan were drinking juices, but even Felix and Isabel were too. Don't tell me you two are planning to have a child too? Why aren't you drinking? It's no fun to have non-alcoholic beverages in Nocturnal. We're not drinking alcohol in advance for our child, Felix answered with his arm around Isabel's waist. Charles had nothing to say to that. I'm truly speechless. Are they here to provoke me? Isn't this too much? Charles, aren't you done fooling around? I wonder what kind of woman will end up taking a man like you. They were truly curious. Charles shook his head. I don't know either. I might just be on my own in this lifetime. I don't have any interest in fooling around with women anymore now. Maybe this is karma. Sophie took a sip of her juice and started typing a text to Cecilia. 2 minutes later, she received a reply. It read, Sophie, you finally remembered me. I thought you had completely forgotten about your best friend after becoming a married woman. Sophie replied, how could I possibly forget you? We're at Nocturnal since we don't have any work these days. Sean is here too. Wanna join us? Cecilia responded. No, thanks. It doesn't sound fun. Cecilia had little interest in drinking now. Sophie asked, Did something happen between you and Sean? Cecilia answered, What could have possibly happened? That man isn't someone I can mess with. Don't worry. I'm well aware of my position. Every time Cecilia thought about Sean, bitterness would fill her heart. I'm still an award-winning actress, regardless. But I'm not even the least bit attractive in his eyes. Just the thought of it is enough to make me feel defeated. Sophie questioned, Are you sure nothing happened? Sean even asked me about you earlier. Sophie didn't think men like Sean would ask about someone else without cause. She was sure something had happened between the two. Cecilia had no interest in knowing what Sean was thinking, so she texted, I'm sure. I'm tired, so I'm going to bed. You go ahead and have fun. He's nothing more than a one-night stand. I'm not a stick in the mud. I can play around too. It's nothing serious, anyway. Sophie gave up and replied, Okay. Have a good night. She thought something was off with Cecilia but could only go and check on her the next day. Was it Cecilia? Tristan asked when Sophie finally set down her phone. Yeah. She's acting weird. I'll go and check up on her tomorrow. Cecilia was her best friend, so she felt a sense of responsibility for her. Okay. Tristan slid a glance at Sean. This dude has been observing us for a while now. I guess he wants to know about Cecilia. Honestly, I think Sean should just dive into a new relationship. His first crush is nothing more than unrequited love. It's really not as significant as he imagines it. If Sean bullied Cecilia, I won't let him get away with it. Sophie shot a look at Sean. She would take Cecilia's side no matter who was right. Don't worry. I'm definitely on your side. Between his friend and his wife, Tristan would, of course, choose his wife. Thanks. They hung out at Nocturnal until after 10 before leaving. Sophie fell asleep instantly upon returning home. She noticed how she would feel exhausted easily recently, and her menstruation had been delayed for a few days, but she wasn't sure if she was pregnant since she hadn't gone for a test. She wanted to tell Tristan about it after the test result was out. She did not want to disappoint him. Tristan came out of the shower and found that his wife was already asleep. She was sleeping soundly, in fact. He leaned down and kissed her lovingly on the forehead. Are you that tired? Have a good rest. He slipped under the covers, then enveloped her in his embrace. Sophie remained asleep. She let out a murmur before settling comfortably in his arms and drifting back to a peaceful slumber. The following day, Sophie made arrangements to visit Cecilia. Tristan decided to accompany her to Cecilia's residence before parting ways with her. Shall I pick you up at noon? It's fine. I'll see how Cecilia is doing first. I might have lunch with her. I haven't seen her in a while now. Okay then. I won't disturb you two at noon. Tristan understood that best friends often had things to discuss, and he didn't want to be a third wheel. Call me if you need me. I will. Go inside now. I'll leave once I see you're inside. Okay. Sophie entered the house. Cecilia resided in a villa that her parents had bought for her, and she had been living there for a long time. The housekeepers recognized Sophie since she often came to accompany Cecilia, so they quickly opened the door for her. Where's Cecilia? She's still sleeping. Ms. Tanner, you study medicine, right? Could you please check on her and see if anything's wrong? We're not sure if she's feeling unwell, the housekeeper said. All right. Sophie went upstairs directly to Cecilia's room and found her lying in bed looking pale and exhausted. The latter was a far cry from the glamorous Cecilia she knew. Seeing Sophie, Cecilia sat up from the bed. Why are you here? I thought you had forgotten about me. How could I? Are you feeling unwell? You don't look so good, Sophie said worriedly. It's nothing, Sophie. Cecilia didn't know how to continue. It was truly difficult to talk about this matter. What's wrong? We're best friends, Cecilia. You can tell me anything no matter what trouble you're facing. No matter what kind of trouble Cecilia encountered, Sophie would be there to support her. Sophie, I'm pregnant. As an artist under TS Entertainment, Cecilia felt it was necessary to inform Sophie about it. Sophie had sensed that something was definitely wrong, but she had never expected such shocking news. Is it Sean's? I suppose it is given their current state. Does he know about it? Does it even matter? It was just a one-night stand. I have no intention of marrying him. Cecilia didn't want to pressure Sean or force him to do anything. Although she had feelings for him, she wouldn't use this child as leverage. What are you planning to do then? Sophie asked casually with no intention of finding fault with her. She felt heartbroken for her. After all, she had always known how proud Cecilia was, and she couldn't imagine Cecilia using a child to manipulate a man. I want to keep the baby. Cecilia had been thinking since she found out about her pregnancy. However, now she only had one thought in her mind: to give birth to this child. Sophie remained silent. Seeing her response, Cecilia lowered her head like a guilty child. Sophie, Cecilia, no matter what decision you make, I will support you. Don't worry, I can afford to raise a child. Tears welled up in Cecilia's eyes. Since learning about her pregnancy, she had been unsure about what to do. She couldn't even tell her parents about it. Now that she heard what Sophie had said about helping her raise her child, she threw herself into Sophie's embrace. Sophie, you're so kind. If only you were a man, Cecilia said. If Sophie were a man, she would marry her without hesitation, and Sean would have no place in their lives. All right, stop crying. It's not good for the baby. Okay. Sophie stayed with Cecilia at the Lance residence. When it was noon, the housekeepers prepared lunch for them. Cecilia was suffering from severe morning sickness and could only eat a little before vomiting. Sophie's heart ached when she saw that. Sophie, being pregnant is truly challenging. I should listen to my mother and never make her angry again, Cecilia said. Your parents don't know about this, right? They would be devastated if they found out. Why would they be? They've always wanted a grandchild. I'm just fulfilling their wish. Cecilia smiled. She didn't know how to tell her parents, but since things had come to this point, there was no turning back. Yeah, they love you so much. I'm sure they'll understand. After finishing their meal, Sophie took Cecilia to the medical association for a thorough examination to confirm her pregnancy. Sophie also underwent an examination herself. When Arius received the results, he was dumbfounded. Both Sophie and Cecilia were pregnant. He stared at Sophie with suspicion. Both of you are pregnant. Is Mr. Tristan that capable? They have only been married for a short time. How did Sophie get pregnant so quickly? Besides, isn't Cecilia still not married? Moreover, she's a famous actress. What would happen to her career now? Sophie had a hunch that she might be pregnant, but now as she held the confirmed pregnancy test results in her hands, her mood was completely different. Yeah. Well, you're the only one who knows about this, so don't spread it around. Sophie didn't want Arius to say anything more. Then, she dismissed him. Once he left, Cecilia excitedly read the report. Sophie, are we both pregnant at the same time? Can our children become childhood friends, then? Cecilia asked with joy. Of course they can. Remember, now that you've decided to keep the child, you need to take care of your emotions. Your mood will affect the baby. I know. Mr. Tristan doesn't know this good news yet, does he? I won't be joining you. You go ahead and tell him. Sophie must be eager to share this news with Mr. Tristan at this moment. I shouldn't stay here any longer. Cecilia. Are you really not going to tell Sean? He has the right to know, Sophie asked. Regardless of the circumstances, Cecilia didn't need to go through this alone. Sophie, the decision to keep this child is mine alone. He doesn't need to know. He only contributed a sperm. He has no say in the fate of this child. Besides, There's no way Sean would let me keep the child. It's simply impossible. Sophie held her hand tightly. Maybe it's not as bad as you think. I said I don't want him to know. We don't have anything to do with each other since the beginning, no? All right, I understand. Let me send you home, Sophie said, not wanting her to return alone. It's fine. I can manage on my own, Sophie. I know what I'm doing. You don't have to worry about me, Cecilia said firmly. At that moment, she just wanted some quiet time alone. Deciding to have the baby was her own choice, and she had the ability to take care of it. Okay, send me a text when you're home. Knowing the kind of person she was, Sophie didn't force her. Okay. Cecilia left, and soon Arias came over to find Sophie. Cecilia is a big star, and she's at the peak of her career now. Now that she's pregnant, what will happen to her acting career in the future? I don't know. But no matter what happens, I will protect her, Sophie replied. Cecilia was her best friend, and she couldn't bear to see her getting hurt. Poor Cecilia. What a pity. Love truly changes a person and makes them completely unrecognizable. What about you? Does Tristan know about your pregnancy? Knowing how much he cares about you, I bet he'll be by your side all day every day if he finds out. Tristan was the kind of husband who genuinely cared about his wife. His love and devotion for Sophie gave their friends a sense of relief. He doesn't, so don't say anything. I want to tell him myself. It will be such a pleasant surprise for Tristan when he finds out. He will surely be delighted. Don't worry. I'm not the type to blab. I won't say a word. It's their own personal matter. Why would I go around talking about it? I'm heading back now. Sophie only wanted to find Tristan. He had always wanted a child, and now his wish had finally come true. Go ahead. Be careful on the road. Otherwise, just let Tristan come pick you up. He'll definitely be more than happy to do so. Tristan is always ready to be by Sophie's side. Nah, I'm not that weak. Sophie went straight to Lombard Group. Sean was there too, dealing with some legal issues related to the company. When Sophie saw Sean, he seemed to have something on his mind. She knew what he wanted to ask, but since Cecilia didn't want him to know, she couldn't say anything. But is it really right to keep it from him? Raising a child alone would be very difficult. Can Cecilia handle it? Seeing that Sophie was lost in thought, Sean sat down beside her. How is Cecilia doing? He used to see news about Cecilia all the time, but now she seemed to have disappeared. She's doing fine, so don't worry. Sophie still had no intention of telling Sean about the pregnancy. Even if she wanted to, she needed Cecilia's consent. She couldn't take matters into her own hands. However, she couldn't resist asking one question. Sean, do you like children? Sean was confused by the sudden question. Why would she ask that? What do you mean? Is Cecilia pregnant? It's possible after what happened that night. Sophie shook her head. No. How could she be? She takes birth control pills. She had to lie since he asked. His reaction clearly showed that he wasn't interested in having children. Sophie felt disappointed and sorry for Cecilia upon seeing Sean's current reaction. Sean, you don't really like Cecilia, do you? If you don't, then you two shouldn't bother each other anymore. Cecilia's a proud woman who doesn't care about anyone's sympathy. Sean remained silent. He didn't know how to describe his feelings. Ever since that night, he had been dreaming about her. However, he wondered about his persistence after all these years. Tristan came back and saw that Sophie seemed upset. He sat down next to her. What's wrong? Did Sean upset you? Sean has just left, and if it wasn't Sean, who else could have upset her? Sophie shook her head. No. How could he possibly upset me? She tried to calm down and suppressed her emotions. Well, what else can I do? He did upset you, didn't he? Don't worry. I'll teach him a lesson next time. He has to face the consequences of messing with my wife. Seeing him always standing up for her, Sophie felt much better. She relaxed and leaned against him. You don't have to. We are husband and wife, and he's your good friend. You don't have to do anything to him because of me. There was really no need for that. She wasn't an unreasonable woman. All right. How is Cecilia? Sophie must be upset because of Cecilia. After all, Cecilia is her best friend. She's fine. She'll forget about Sean. That was what Sophie said, but she was still worried. If Cecilia could really forget, she wouldn't have insisted on keeping the baby. Let's not dwell on it. What would you like to eat for dinner? I've already made a reservation at a restaurant. Are you done with work? If you are, we can leave now. Sophie decided to share the good news in a beautiful setting. You've made a reservation? Is today a special day? Have I forgotten something? No. Let's go. The two of them drove to the most famous restaurant in Jipsdale. The atmosphere there was amazing. It was Georgina who recommended it, and it didn't disappoint. The place was truly enchanting. Do you like it? If you do, we can come here often in the future. Most girls love places like this. Even I, as a man, feel that the place is like a dream. Yes, it's really nice. No wonder Georgina has been telling me about it. Both of them had been too busy to notice such a great place in Jipsdale. As Sophie had already made a reservation, the server led them to their table and took their orders. When the food arrived, Sophie said solemnly, Tristan, I have some good news to share. What is it? Did she prepare a surprise for me? I should have been the one to do this as her husband. I'm falling short in that regard. I'm pregnant. We're going to have the child you've always wanted. As Sophie spoke these words, her eyes were shining. Our lives are complete now. Tristan didn't react at first. But when he did, he was overcome with immense joy. Is it true? We're going to have our own child. I'll be a father, and she'll be a mother. We'll live together as a happy family. What's wrong? Are you not happy? Hadn't you always wanted a child? Sophie asked. What's with the look on his face now? Is he not happy? Of course, I'm happy. But does that mean I can't touch you anymore starting today? After the initial burst of joy, that practical question occurred to Tristan. We're newlyweds, and I haven't had enough of her. Yet, my days of abstinence are now here. This doesn't feel good at all. Sophie was wholly stunned. What a peculiar way of thinking. But that seems to be true. It's said that special care is required during the first trimester. What should we do then? Are you suggesting that we abort this child? Dad has been looking forward to a grandchild. At her question, Tristan's expression changed drastically. No way. Having an abortion is exceedingly detrimental to a woman's health. I'll never allow such a thing to happen to you. He clutched her hands tightly. Then he continued confidently. Don't worry, for you'll be free when the child is born. I'll take care of him. All right, don't think about anything now. Just focus on eating. Sophie started eating while Tristan went down to business. When she noticed that he had not taken a single bite of his food, she could not help questioning him. What are you doing? If you don't eat, the food will go cold. I'm browsing the internet for information on the things to pay attention to during the early stages of pregnancy. I must take care of her wholeheartedly henceforth. Thus, I naturally have to know all that. Tristan's reply struck Sophie dumb. Oh well, he attaches great importance to everything to do with me, much less when it's such a colossal matter of having a child. Tristan looked through some information, paying close attention to the food that suited pregnant women and otherwise. He planned to start cooking for her upon going home since she could not eat outside food often now that she was with child. That's enough. Eat first and continue browsing at home. Okay. Only when Sophie had said as much did Tristan start eating. He scarfed down the food, and when he was done, he resumed browsing the internet again. At that, words eluded Sophie. Isn't he being overly anxious? Every woman experiences childbirth. He's really being too worked up. I'm a medical student, Tristan. I know how to take care of myself. You don't have to be so worried. It's truly unnecessary, and his behavior is breaking my heart. I know you're amazing and can take care of yourself, but you're my wife, so I've got to tend to you meticulously. Just entrust yourself to me with peace of mind. Verily, that's all she needs to do. All right then. Sophie could no longer be bothered to dissuade the man. It doesn't matter as long as he's happy. Anyway, he's a responsible man in the first place. Before leaving the restaurant, Tristan sent a message to the WhatsApp chat group with his friends. It read, "My wife is pregnant, guys. From now on, I'll be focused on taking care of her. There's no need to call me out for any gatherings." The other 3 men in the group chat went silent. They were all stupefied. Whoa. Sophie is already pregnant in such a short time? Mr. Tristan is really a force to be reckoned with. After sending the WhatsApp message, Tristan did not bother responding to his friends' replies in the group chat. Instead, he took Sophie's hand and headed home with her, determined to tell William about the good news. Isn't this something Dad has been anticipating all along? Now, his wish has finally come true. He'll definitely be over the moon. Throughout the drive, the smile remained on Tristan's face. He was on top of the world right then. Seeing him in 7th heaven, Sophie was also in a good mood. It was only natural for her to be elated as there was a new life in her belly, one that belonged to them both. Soon, they arrived at the Lombard residence. When William learned about the good news, he immediately lit a candle in gratitude. This is great. Isabel is the only descendant of the Lombard family in this generation, but there'll certainly be more children in the future. Isabel caught wind of the good news as soon as she arrived home. She hugged Sophie tightly. You're simply incredible, Sophie. It's only been a while since you've gotten married. Take it easy. Why are you being so reckless? Be more careful in the future. Now that Sophie is pregnant, all of us have to be mindful and take good care of her. Sarah pulled Isabel aside. At everyone's concern, a wealth of warmth suffused Sophie. In truth, the Lombard family is very much easy to get along with. Before I was pregnant, they already treated me beyond well. I'm fine, Sarah. Tell me whenever you crave something. Sophie, I'll cook it for you. It seemed that it was all Sarah could do. Okay. Thank you, Sarah. You're all to be more careful hereafter. Don't bump into Sophie. She's now the queen of our family. No one is allowed to make her angry. Sophie, tell me if Tristan were to make you mad. I would teach him a lesson for you, said William. Sure. Thank you, Dad. Grandpa, do you want a grandson or granddaughter? Isabel asked. Grandpa has always been good to me, but he must also want a grandson, right? After all, isn't the older generation most concerned about the continuity of the family line? I don't mind either way. So long as the child is of the Lombard family, I'll like him. What are you thinking? Am I not good to you? William huffed. Admittedly, I'm usually a bit rigid, but I'm not so antiquated that I value boys over girls. Worried that Sophie would take it to heart, he immediately added, Don't feel pressured, Sophie. A boy or a girl makes no difference. You're the best, Grandpa. Isabel threw herself into her grandfather's arms. Indeed, Grandpa has been great to me. Why on earth did I have such a thought? With you pregnant and Tristan busy, Sophie, the 2 of you should just stay here. There are many people here. Hence, there'll always be someone to take care of you. William hoped they would live there, feeling that a family should stay together. Tristan grasped Sophie's hand. He did not want to stay there since they were newly married and needed their own personal space. I can take good care of Sophie, Dad. I'm still more used to living in our mansion. There are many people here, so it'll be noisy. William went speechless, at a loss for words. Gosh, how is it noisy here? While Sarah and Isabel live here, they're as busy as a bee. They've got no time to make noise. Fine then. Stay wherever you want. I've got no objections as long as you take good care of Sophie. Ah, never mind. Young people have their own thoughts, so I won't insist further. It won't do me any good anyway. However, he then asserted, but let me make this clear, Sophie must stay here for her confinement period. With that, we can all take good care of her and the baby. We'll talk about it when the time comes. Tristan did not want to think about an issue far into the future. There was still a long time between pregnancy to delivery. When the child was born, they would have no time alone. Therefore, he was intent on being with Sophie exclusively before that happened. William was utterly dumbfounded, but there was nothing he could do. Honestly, he was helpless in the face of Tristan. Besides, young people needed their own lives, and he could not interfere too much despite being the man's father. When they had girl time together at night, Isabel still found the entire matter mind-boggling. There's really nothing different about Sophie, but there's life in her belly now. How magical. What's the matter? Don't tell me you've lost your mind, Sarah questioned. Why is she wearing such a look on her face? No, I just find it miraculous. Look, Aunt Sarah, she still appears exactly the same as before. Sophie looked down at her flat belly. Indeed, even I find it incredible myself. In the near future, Tristan and I will have our own child. Sarah was much older than the two of them, but ultimately, she had never had a child herself. For that reason, she was likewise totally unfamiliar with pregnancy. She, too, found it beyond astounding. Anyway, you must be more careful because you're no longer alone no matter what you do from now on out. Pregnancy will be an arduous journey. Got it, Sarah. Don't worry, for I know what I'm doing. I'll take good care of myself. In no time, Mark and the others knew about Sophie's pregnancy as well. Sunny was the most thrilled person. Truly, I didn't expect Sophie to be the first to have a child. After all, Sophie was the youngest among them. She's married, Mark replied. I suppose she's having a child so early because of Tristan. She's still young, but the same can't be said of him, so he must want to have a child earlier. Actually, Mark, there are many outstanding women around you. Sophie is already married, and there's no use pining over her anymore. You should date, Sunny urged. It'd be pointless no matter how long he waits when Sophie is already married. I'm not pining over her. When it comes to certain people, even pining over her forever wouldn't yield any fruit, Mark remarked. I understand that. Regretfully, I can't bring myself to settle. Oh well, what could I do when I just happened to meet such an outstanding woman in my younger days? The other members of the Wheelers did not know what to say to that. All Sunny could do was pat Mark on the shoulder. It's a fact of life to keep moving forward, Mark. So what if he can't forget her? He won't be able to change anything. In that case, he can only keep moving forward. At noon, they all surrounded Sophie when they ran into her at TS Entertainment. Are you really pregnant, Sophie? I want to be the child's godfather, Sunny declared loudly. Hearing that, Sophie chuckled. Okay, sure. She was naturally happy that there was another person to love her child. Pregnancy is grueling. Don't tire yourself out anymore, and take good care of yourself. If there's anything to be done, you can have others do it. Mark's utmost concern was her health. Strictly speaking, she's still a child herself. I really can't imagine how she's going to take care of a baby in the future. I know. Don't worry. I'm a doctor. As such, I know how to take care of myself. Sophie could only reassure the man, knowing he was worried about her. Great. Mark was aware that she was an exceedingly independent person. On top of that, Tristan was incredibly good to her, so he had nothing to worry about. Mark and the others had an event, so they did not tarry and went about their own matters. However, Isabel stayed by Sophie's side all along. Go about your business. Why do you keep following me? Sophie questioned. Doesn't she have her own affairs to attend to? Why is she following me around here? I'm worried about you. This is your first time being pregnant, no? I'm only following you around out of concern. At Isabel's reply, Sophie burst out laughing. I'm genuinely fine. I'm still in the early stages of pregnancy, okay? All right, go and do whatever it is have to do. She's a very popular singer now, so she must have a lot of things to do. Okay then. I know you find me a bother. Sheer melancholy flooded Isabel. Despite her words, the smile on her face remained. A new life was truly something remarkable. Because of that, everyone seemed to be in a good mood. Caleb also learned about Sophie's pregnancy. At noon, he specially went to TS Entertainment to visit her. I know you've got your plate full, Caleb. You actually don't need to come over for the express purpose of visiting me. Exasperation swamped Sophie. As expected, everyone's attitude changed tremendously after learning that I'm pregnant. In reality, I'm not that busy. I just came over to have a look at you. There's no need to feel bad about it. If you've got time, come home for dinner. Okay, got it. Caleb brought a lot of things for her. At the sight of it all, a wealth of warmth suffused Sophie. When Caleb returned home at night, Willow said nothing upon seeing him. Charmaine, on the other hand, made a few comments of concern. If you're free, Mom, go and visit Sophie. She's also your daughter. She's young, so I'm worried that she doesn't know how to take care of herself. Never mind when she wasn't pregnant, but now that she's with child, Mom should really go and show her some concern. Okay, got it. Charmaine was downright perfunctory. What's the use of me doing so? I don't think she needs my concern in the least. At his mother's attitude, Caleb could only shake his head helplessly. Once something changes, it's truly difficult to mend it then. In the evening, Tristan went to TS Entertainment to pick Sophie up. Isabel initially wanted to have dinner with them, but Felix appeared and whisked her away. Tristan brought Sophie to the supermarket to buy groceries. What would you like to eat? I'll cook it for you later. It had been a while since he had started to learn to cook. By then, he could prepare a few dishes. I'll eat whatever you cook. As long as it's something you make, I'll like it, Sophie answered ingratiatingly. Why are you so honey-tongued today? Did you do something wrong? Sophie was promptly rendered speechless by his question. I'm serious. Your cooking skills have indeed improved by leaps and bounds recently. I'm definitely not saying this for the sake of flattering him. Okay. Wrapping an arm around her waist, Tristan wheeled the shopping cart with the other. Whenever Sophie spotted something she liked to eat, she snagged it. In truth, her appetite was lacking because she was in the early stages of pregnancy. She had little interest in food. Unfortunately, she was already thin in the first place. If she did not eat properly, she would only lose more weight and worry others. They bought a lot of food at the supermarket. Tristan carried 2 big shopping bags into the car before opening the car door for her. When Sophie had climbed into the vehicle and noticed that he was already sweating, she took out a tissue and wiped his sweat for him. Actually, I'm truly not that delicate. I can share the burden with you. Verily, there's absolutely no need to pamper me so much. It's also taking a toll on him, isn't it? No, it's okay. You only need to take good care of yourself, Tristan declined. I can resolve everything else. Tristan drove back to the mansion with Sophie. Unexpectedly, he was greeted by the sight of Isabel and Felix waiting at the gates. At the sight of the 2 uninvited guests, he could only inhale deeply. Shouldn't the 2 of them be going on a date now? Why are they here? With an arm wrapped around Isabel's waist, Felix started smilingly. We had nowhere to go, so we came here to have dinner together. You guys don't mind, right? We do. Say, Felix, aren't you both going to get married soon? And is it not great to live your own lives? Arg. Why must they come here to intrude on us? There's no hurry. Don't worry, Uncle Tristan. We're already surveying the mansions nearby. If there's any suitable one, we'll buy it. Then, we can have each other's back in the future, Isabel interjected. Tristan went silent, struck dumb. I don't want to have their backs at all. All I need is personal space. What's wrong? Are you moved to tears? This is all for convenience's sake for me to take care of Sophie in the future, Isabel continued. She doesn't need you to take care of her. I can take care of my own wife, Tristan countered. I really don't need all these meddlesome people. All right, let's go in first. Sophie had no objections. It was only having 2 more people at the table, and that did not bother her. At once, Isabel went over and supported Sophie. Let's go in first, Sophie. We'll leave the cooking to the men. I'll chat with you. She did not regard herself as an outsider at all. Sure. Sophie was not a person who liked to cook. Tristan had already forbade her from cooking in the past, alone when she was currently pregnant. Thus, the 2 girls went to the couch and sat down. I wrote a song recently. I've sent it to you, so listen to it. If you like it, you can sing it. It was a song Sophie wrote after she got pregnant, and the lyrics brimmed with bliss. As Isabel listened to it, she naturally fell in love with it. I love it. So long as it's a song written by you, I'll like it. You're a genius. I can already imagine how popular this song will be. That had always been the norm. Any song written by Sophie would undoubtedly become a hit. I'm glad you like it, Sophie replied. What's the matter? Are you tired? Shall I give you a massage? Isabel instantly offered ingratiatingly. It went without saying that she was ecstatic since her visit that day garnered her a meal and an unexpected song. No, it's okay. I'm fine. I'm just pregnant. You all don't need to focus all your attention on me, Sophie asserted. Truly, that's totally unnecessary. This song is really nice. I love it. Isabel liked the song increasingly more as she listened to it. That's great. The preparations for your wedding with Felix have likely started, yes? Do tell me if you need our help in anything. While speaking, Sophie leaned back against the couch. Ever since getting pregnant, she was prone to being sleepy. She actually did not do much that day, but she was already tired then. I'm just entrusting the wedding preparations to Felix. I believe that he can settle everything. Felix was an exceedingly meticulous man. Consequently, Isabel did not have to worry about the wedding. Well, it was an arduous journey for the 2 of you, so you must cherish him henceforth, Sophie urged. The incident this time taught everyone a lesson. In the past, they all assumed that there was still a lot of time, so they had a lifetime together. In reality, however, no one knew whether there would be a tomorrow. Therefore, the most important thing was to take good care of oneself and appreciate the present. That took precedence over everything. Yeah, I will. Don't worry. I'm now no longer my immature self in the past. Isabel knew what she was doing and was resolved to treat Felix well. Meanwhile, Felix and Tristan prepared dinner in the kitchen. Despite the former's presence, he was of little help as he rarely cooked. Actually, Mr. Tristan, you can hire a chef. With how busy you are, it's simply too tiring for you to cook each day. Felix felt that cooking would be fun once in a while, but if it was done on a daily basis, it would be utterly exhausting. No, it's okay. I love the feeling of taking care of her personally. No amount of money I make gives me the sense of accomplishment from cooking her a meal. Contrarily, Tristan felt that the sense of accomplishment from fattening his own wife and feeding his own child was unrivaled. Okay then. All Felix could do was some simple tasks. When he was done, Tristan went about everything alone. As there were 4 of them, the man prepared several dishes and a soup. The food was not bad, but it was certainly no gourmet fare. Nonetheless, the 4 of them enjoyed the meal very much. Would you like some more soup? In response, Sophie shook her head. No thanks. I'm stuffed. She had really eaten a lot that day. Never mind then. There are still fruits later. Tristan bought plenty of fresh fruits that day. While Sophie seldom ate fruits, all he chose were her favorites. Hence, he reckoned that she would eat some. Okay. Sophie's days of pregnancy were incredibly leisurely. When everyone learned of her delicate condition, they all took great care of her. At the medical association, Barney heaped more work on Arius, and she basically had nothing to do, merely providing some guidance. With Victor helming things at Tanner Group, she did not need to worry either. She found such an indolent life pretty comfortable. Her belly expanded by the day, and her life gradually changed. Indeed, Tristan took excellent care of her. No matter what she craved, he would cook it for her. Worried that outside food would be unhealthy, they ate at home most of the time. Occasionally, she would go out shopping with Cecilia. But since Cecilia's baby bump showed, Cecilia did not leave home anymore. At times, Sophie would go to her mansion to keep her company. They were both pregnant, so they naturally had much to talk about. Compared to Cecilia, Sophie felt that she herself was downright lucky. The two of them chatted for a while before Cecilia admitted, "Honestly speaking, Sophie, I don't know whether this decision of mine is right." She was the one who wanted to keep the baby, but she wondered whether her child would blame her in the future. Verily, she was worried sick. Sophie grasped her hands. "Cecilia, you're the bravest mother I've ever seen. Since you've already made this decision, don't brood over it. I believe that you and your child will definitely be happy. But then, it'll be infinitely exhausting for her to shoulder all this alone." Immediately, Cecilia nodded. Sophie added, "But you'll never be able to avoid things forever. Sean will learn about the child's existence. Sooner or later. I think you should tell him about it. She should go out and about when she's pregnant, but she's been cooping herself up in the mansion because of the child. This isn't healthy." "Yeah, I know," Cecilia concurred. "She's right in that I can't keep this a secret forever. Even if he doesn't want this child, he has the right to know about his presence, and I can't continue avoiding things anymore."
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.